Bienvenidos a un episodio más de Darte Arte Podcast. Estamos aquí con
Benjamin Mancillas.
Benjamin Mancillas, músico local. Aquí vamos.
Tengo arte para darte de tus penas, liberarte, tu mente contaminarte con palabras, elevarte.
Hablamos un poquito en español
Sí.
y le metemos inglés también ahí sin preocupación. Esto es lo que yo le llamo en Perú le decimos una conversa. Estamos conversando nomás, tranquilo. Tú eres artista local, ¿no? Aunque últimamente no sé si quieres hablar mucho del tema, pero te he visto que estás un poquito frustrado con ser artista, que ya no querías hacer música o sí. ¿Es un tema del que podemos hablar?
No, es que ahorita me iba a enfocar un poquito más con mi familia.
Ok.
Porque voy a tener un hijo.
Oh, congratulations. So, mira, you heard it here first. Va a tener un hijo.
Estoy tratando a empezar un negocio quiero vender como, comida.
Sí, ok.
Y luego enfocarme un poquito en eso. Y luego me voy a regresar.
Regresar a la música.
Yeah, pero todavía estoy escribiendo canciones.
Yeah, the creativity never, it's always there.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Y luego también decidí de cambiar mi nombre de Benjamin Mancillas.
¿Ya no va a hacer esto o no have to throw it away?
Ahora nomás voy a hacer Mancillas.
Mancillas nomás, okay. Mancillas, all right. Well, yo soy Gerardo, pero I'm el Kallpa, which is the force, the energy.
How long have you been el Kallpa?
El Kallpa since 2011.
Wow.
No, more than that. No, I'm lying. 2009. Yeah, I've always had bands in Miami. I'm from Peru, but when I migrated to the United States, we went to Miami. Mm-hmm. And I always had bands, different bands. Al comienzo todo en español, cantaba rock en español. Y siempre que me iba de un proyecto, yo escribo bastante las canciones, las letras y todo. I felt like I was leaving like babies behind because the song kind of died with the band. If the band dissipated, the song was gone. Mm-hmm. So I always had this thing that I want to keep my songs mine, which they are, but I felt a little weird playing songs from other bands. So I was like, okay, I'm going to create El Kallpa, who's me, and I'm part of many bands or whatever, but if I leave a band or something and I wrote a song, it's mine. So I could perform it with whoever. I don't know, it was a mind game or a mind thing that I put on my own. Pero así es como en el 2009 nace El Kallpa. Tenía una banda de reggae fusión en Miami que se llamaba Kallpa Rasta. Mm. Porque cuando no teníamos nombre aún, empezamos a tocar y nos decían, ustedes tocan reggae, pero no es reggae porque le meten distortion y it's like forceful reggae. Entonces decía, force, ¿qué le ponemos? La fuerza rasta, la fuerza reggae, no estaba seguro. Y en Perú tenemos a los incas que hablan quechua, el idioma de los incas, y Kallpa significa eso, fuerza, energy. Entonces dije, es un reggae pero con fuerza. Y de Kallpa Rasta nace el Kallpa. Básicamente. Me estoy entrevistando a mí mismo. Volvamos. Let's go back to Benjamin, to Mancillas.
I'll turn this interview to you.
Okay, Benjamin, are you from around here? Estamos en beautiful Monterey. Mira, hemos empezado este podcast así todo loco porque estoy emocionado, estoy contento. Pero estamos aquí con Benjamín, estamos en Monterrey, un poquito frío, un poquito nublado, pero rico. Al aire libre, un podcast gitano que se mueve por todos lados. Hoy nos ha tocado casi en el centro de Monterrey, pero hemos escogido un background de bosque.
Nice.
De bosque.
I was driving. Aquí estaba manejando y dije, wow. Quiero hacer una music video aquí.
There you go.
Como un ghost in the trees or something.
Yeah. Maybe we can all hook up because Lori over there, she helps out with videos. She helped me with my last video. You saw my last video.
The one where you're like...
Yeah, that's it. She's the main videographer in that.
Dije, wow, that's so cool.
Okay,
that's so creative.
Are you from Monterey area? ¿Dónde naciste? Where are you from?
Yo nací en San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Pero I was raised in Salinas.
Salinas.
Y luego me moví a Marina.
Marina.
Yeah.
And what are your earliest memories of music? When do you decide to, I want to make music, or do you remember?
Yeah, when I always wanted to like be a music man. Like, I don't know, like I would see like people that would make music and I'd be like, oh, that's me, I want to be that. pero en mi familia nadie toca música.
Okay.
Yo era como el primero que decidí. Tengo 5 hermanas y 7 hermanos.
Son 12, son 13?
Yeah.
In total, 13?
Yeah.
Wow, that's an old school family.
I'm the baby.
Oh, you're the baby, okay.
The baby. So, none of my brothers or sisters tocan, but, cuando tenía como 12, 13, decidí, quiero tocar. So then, I got a guitar, pero I just had it right there in the corner.
I've done that too.
And then I got a keyboard también, and then I could only play like a couple letters. Estaba en una band in high school que era de metal, porque in that time era like
the thing that was popping. Yeah, I've been in punk bands, I've been in ska bands, I've been all over.
Yeah, so era como like a fusion kind of band where it was like como like the metal gets like rah, and some parts where like it switch up and it sounds like like a reggae part, or like then it switches up again and it's like an electronic part or whatever.
And this was happening where, in Salinas?
In Salinas. But that lasted for like maybe a year, and then I didn't play music for like
So everything started with the band, basically?
Yeah, like that ended like when I was 18, y luego no empecé otra vez hasta que tenía como 23.
Okay, so you took a break from music?
Compré una ukulele, so empecé con la ukulele, I was like, and then I learned, and then I wrote a couple songs, the ukulele, and las tenía ahí, like I would play them for like a while, like I had them maybe like 2 years, and then I decided to record them, so then I recorded them, and then I released my first album, which was se llama From Before, because era like me just pretty much saying like, these are songs from before.
From before, okay.
So
and what year was that?
It was like 2019. 2019. Y luego, I decided to, I always wanted to do stuff con synthesizers. So, I me compré un synthesizer, y luego me compré otro, y luego empecé como tocando aquí y allá, y luego I would set up shows in Monterey County, or try my best to set up shows. Y luego cuando iba, like, I would just play kind of like songs que I just kind of created, like, I hadn't released them. So then, not until 2020, era cuando decidí, I'm gonna start recording again. So then.
But you've been making videos since when we talked. What year was that?
That was
probably
like
19, right?
19.
Yeah. So that's how I.
And people will remember me like, you're the guy that had the ukulele.
Oh, really?
Some people will be like, I saw something. Porque a veces antes, like me iba a random places, nomás con like little pedazos de papel así. Like I would type them, and like I would just make copies, and then I would cut them, and then I would pass them like random places, like, hey, listen to my song, and I only had like one song, like, and then I would pass it to people, and then like, time would pass, y los se recordaban, you're the guy that was standing right here passing.
That's really cool.
And but
there's an artist right now that I'm following. Un muchacho de Argentina que se llama Elegante, que toca reggaetón con cumbia, pero he's famous, okay? He's made it. He's good. He's still everywhere he makes a concert. He goes to the poor side of town, and he just walks the streets and talks to people. And he said that makes him so real. That's why people like him so much, because although he makes all the money and he's, the videos with the views and everything, he still takes his time off his tour to go and communicate with people, to do the... ¿Qué pasó?
So I think your viewers rubbing on it.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to start that over with talking about the artist.
We need to cut it. Nah.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. This is good. That's just why you need an extra person, because I will be talking and then the whole audio is bad. Okay.
What about my beard? I'm letting it grow again.
I get excited. Okay, vamos a empezar. Yo conozco un artista de Argentina. I know this artist from Argentina, and I follow him. And although he's made it as an artist, he still goes to like poor sides of town every time he does a show, and like hangs out with the people. Sometimes that's how he gets people on their videos. He just puts on social media or whatever, I'm gonna be at the corner of this and this, hanging out. And he just goes and says hi to people, takes pictures or whatever. But es lo que estabas diciendo tú, like the human part of it is not just something you're gonna find on social media, but it's the guy I saw right outside of this place hanging out a paper, like the human contact. That thing is like very important for people to relate. That's the human element, I think. So that's awesome. And that's, you say that was like 2019?
2019, yeah. Se me hacía like fun, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Because then people would tell me like, oh, tell me about themselves. Like,
yeah,
oh, I do this. Oh, I do that. And I'm like, oh, I would never like have thought that that's what you like doing, you know? And no nomás es like música, it's like de lo que sea, like, you know, people, a veces me decían que they're going to school because they want to be like a lawyer or whatever, and like I was look at this person, I'm like, oh, I would never have thought about that. You know, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's an awesome
like
way to
they share a little bit about
themselves. When you present yourself, yeah. You
know,
that's awesome.
Pero
y después ¿cómo fue que empezaste a tocar? Porque yo he visto que has tocado en varios shows y tocas en varios sitios. People know you in mostly. That's why I thought you were from Salinas. Well, you were in Salinas for a while, right?
Yeah.
This is where okay. So how do you enter from like having one or two songs to be like, oh, I want to play in a show? Is people reaching out to you? Or are you reaching out to people?
No, it was kind of a mix.
Okay.
So in the beginning, era yo nomás like I would reach out to people. Hey, you want to do a show right here with me? Can you help me out? And then they would be okay. Let's go, and then we would go and do the show. So yeah, you know.
That's pretty cool, man. No, that's pretty cool. No, and I love your content. I remember a few of your videos where like really committed. I remember you were throwing the little piano in the water, or you're like rolling in the water. You're a committed actor, man. You're like, all right, I'm gonna whatever you're feeling. That's a very, I feel like a little flame from an artist when you're like you're in. That caught my attention a lot about the content that you were putting out, and that's why I was like, man, I want to collaborate with this guy. So. Maybe one day we can do a song together.
Yeah.
But for now we have this. So you're having a baby, bro. What?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you known?
For 8 months.
8 months. So you're almost there.
So my wife's due date is like 1 month from now. So
okay.
The 16th of December.
16th of December. Almost a Christmas baby. Huh?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I have 2 of my own, and they change your life. You get tired, but it's so beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
So I just been, you know, working. I'm trying to figure out like, oh, you know, how am I gonna? So
it's a thing, yeah. Of course.
You know?
Y tu música, hablemos un poquito más de tu música, porque estamos en el Darte Arte podcast. Yeah. We're giving you art. Tu música. ¿Qué es lo que te inspira un poco a ti a la música? Is it where you are physically? Like, oh, I'm in this park and I feel this?
Lo que me inspira is like before I had like a kind of like a way of trying to write songs, donde like I would kind of force it. Mm-hmm. So then like I would like kind of just come up with whatever like lyrics. Like, oh, this would go fine with, you know, this sounds like a love song, so let's make it a love song or lo que sea, you know? But like I wouldn't really feel like completely connected with it. Mm-hmm. So like the last album that I released, it was kind of more like it was hard for me. Sometimes it's hard for me to like write down, which I'm getting better at it. Like with the next project I'm gonna release, which I will say maybe like towards the end of next year. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna force it or anything, but it's gonna be like what I like to do is like I live life, you know, like
Yeah, of course.
I go through whatever I'm going through at that point in time, and then I'll try to like capture something from that period of time, and then transfer it to my lyrics.
To your music.
Yeah, and yeah.
Con la música, do you start with chords first, like, oh, these chords sound good, or sometimes you start, because I do it both ways. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm writing these lyrics and I don't know what the music is at all, so I just write like writing a poem, and then later it becomes a song, or sometimes it doesn't. But some people have a very structured, like, oh, I do chords first, then melody, then do you have a specific way, or?
Not necessarily. Usually I come up with the chords first, so
Okay.
I'll create the music.
Mm-hmm.
But like like right now I'm working on 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been working on them for like, como, I don't know, 4 months, and I'm still on the first verse.
Okay.
And it's because like I know what I want to say, pero I keep kind of like tweaking it a little.
Editing.
Yeah,
editing is
the whole music part, ya la tengo.
Okay.
It's just the lyrics. So then like the other song también is like I have the music, and I know what I want to say, but it's just I just do a lot of thinking. You know?
Yeah, trying to find the right words.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something I learned, like when I was younger, because I'm old, I'm almost 40. When I first started writing music, or lyrics, say in the beginning, when I was 18, 17, I would write a whole song, and if I wrote it, that's it. I didn't edit anything, because I thought I could, if I needed another song, I'll make a new one. This song is done. We're back from a break, and we were talking about lyrics. So you were trying to tell me how is your process of lyrics, and you say sometimes you start with the chords, and you have 2 songs that are basically the music is done, right? And then you're going through the lyric process.
So right, como ahorita, como I have the music for this one song, and I know, like, because for the way I kind of sometimes think about my music is que, like, now I want to write things where I want it to be like I'm leaving a mark in my family tree. So like, let's say, you know, my grandchildren one day they decide, oh, my grandpa used to make music, so then I want to kind of, you know, have an important message que they could hear at a certain stage of their life, and y piensan like, oh, you know, maybe they'll go through it when they reach to that part of life. Como por ejemplo, like for me, yo antes pensaba like que, you know, nada me iba a pasar, like kind of I don't know what you say, like I was like ignorant. You know?
Okay, yeah.
So then, like, I got into a lot of trouble, and then, like, after I got out of that trouble, como me puse como poquito como like depressed, and then
thoughtful, pensando.
And I didn't like myself, you know. Y luego I kind of had to remind myself, like, well, I learned que a veces in life, you know, like, people mess up.
You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, you learn from your mistakes. So you have to like get yourself back up, and you have to, you know, just keep going, because life goes on. Like roughly, that's like the.
Claro, and then you want to like try to focus, like telling your life experiences in a way that people from your family in the future could relate.
Yeah.
If they get to those, But not only family, right? Anyone.
Anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
so me too, man. Like, I wrote a song the beginning of this year that is, I was trying to express, which is impossible, to express the feelings that I got when I first became a dad. So I call it Bella Armonía. It's a very slow reggae, and it's all about love and this, but es imposible de capturar all the feelings. It's impossible, but I was trying to get close to that. But no, that's awesome, man. That's good thinking. Like, thinking for the future. That's one of my main things too. Is I love recording the music, like having a recording of it. I love live performances, yes, but I think my favorite part is releasing a song. Like, more than performing it live, is something that is recorded in a way that I like how it sounds, and is basically forever, right? Like, there's I don't know, unless they burn the internet, my song is somewhere out there.
Yeah, I was thinking, doing something crazy, like, oh, what if the internet goes down? Like, maybe get it, like, recorded on I don't know, like, store it.
Yeah, store it differently. Yeah,
like in different mediums. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just to have it, just in case, like a.
You have a cassette, a CD,
Yeah.
And then I have many what are these called, the external drives with all my stuff, and a friend of mine who was a super IT guy, él me enseñó about duplicity. So you have a hard drive with all your stuff, and you have a second hard drive with the same stuff, because this hard drive might die, and then all your stuff is gone. So I have two things of. I'm a digital hoarder. I have so much stuff of everything.
That's smart.
From video, photo, and music and everything.
Yeah, back to how I write.
Claro, vámonos.
Yeah, my bad.
No, estamos ahí.
At 24% the battery, I don't know if that's...
That should be fine. We should be talking for another like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, como una canción que tengo ahorita. That one, like, when I'm trying to, I guess for a while, I guess not everybody can relate to it, but maybe, like, sometimes, like, I would feel like I was missing out from the people that I grew up with, so it was difficult for me to get adjusted to, like, seeing, like, people that, like, I grew up with, like, their lives changing and then them doing their own thing. And then, like, that one I call it the winds of change. Pero eso tiene que ver con, it's okay, just because someone's not close to you, how they used to be, it doesn't mean that they don't care for you.
Claro, sí.
Yeah. And,
It's
but I don't know how to put that, like, into, like, lyrics. So then, like, I'm stuck, like, I'll keep trying to, like, figure it out, and then, like, I'll write something, but then I'm like, I read it, and I'm like, well, I don't think it's someone reading the lyrics are fully gonna, like, get the message that I'm trying to say, or, like, somehow, like, I wrote it all weird, okay, I'm saying, like, another thing,
Ah, sí.
And then, so...
Pero generalmente empiezas con los acordes, chords.
Yeah, I begin with the chords, and then I think of what I'm trying to say, and then I try to come up with the lyrics.
All right. And what inspires the theme? Is it inspired by the music? Like, if it's happy chords, oh, this theme is going to be a happy thing? Or is it, I want to sing about, I don't know, the waves, and then you do chords that go with the waves, and then you do lyrics that represent the waves? Or am I asking a crazy question?
No. I would say both ways.
Both ways,
Yeah.
I always try to make music the most weird ways I can find. Like, on my first album, I did just a drum track.
How many albums do you have?
2.
2?
2, but the first one was an insane idea because it has 20 songs, and it has a reason for it. Is when I was a kid, every time I burned a CD, I knew that CD has 80 minutes. So I tried to utilize 80 minutes of that CD. If I had a minute and a half left, I put a minute and a half song or a talk or something like that. I don't know if it's a poor person mentality, but I wanted to utilize all that space.
That's
okay. So that was from when I was a kid. If there was I don't know, like I said, a minute or 30 seconds, I will put a sound bite of something funny that I like, and it's in the middle of the CD. So when I did my CD, I was like, I'm going to utilize this 80 minutes. So I'm going to put as many songs as I can. And everybody told me, no, you have 2 albums there. Why do you put it in one? And I was like, I can write more stuff. So I didn't care. But on my first CD has like 79 point something minutes, and that's 20 songs. And that's and the idea behind that CD was I wanted to put everything I've done so far up until that point when I released it in May of 2020. So it has songs that have live recordings. It has songs that, in English and Spanish and all types of music. Some are cumbia, some are reggae, some are mix, and a lot of collaborations too. I always have different singers, different musicians. Glenn Bell, which is the guy who I play with Sensor Sound System, he helped me a lot with the guitars because I work really easily with him with guitars. And he taught me GarageBand, and that's where I produce all my stuff. GarageBand. I don't do fancy stuff yet, pero puro GarageBand. And then starting this year, since the pandemic, I've been releasing 2 songs each month. So, except September and November. But I've already, for 2021, I have like about 20 songs out already. Yeah.
fire.
Well, I don't know. It's sometimes I feel like I'm running out of time too. Like I'm getting older, like getting fatter, and people are like, "Oh, who's that guy on stage or something?" I feel like, the clock is ticking. And truly, I write every day, man.
Yeah.
I write a song every day. Wow. At least lyrics. Sometimes it's just like a melody on my phone, like a crazy person. Pero lyrics, at least 5 times a week, I get a whole poem /song /something. Siempre activo. And sometimes it's like, it hits me about 3 a.m. and I'm like, on my phone.
Yeah.
And my wife is like, what are you doing?
I see, like how whenever I get on my phone, like I'm done or whatever, like I'm taking a quick break and I'll be like, because majority, like I have pure just like, I'm always trying to see like who's like local musician.
Yeah, me too.
Like, so like everything in my timeline will always be like, like artists that are like, that I could like
that's
reach,
how we connected, like, all the artists, local artists.
Yeah, so then like, and then I'll be like, oh, this person released something, oh, this person released something, oh, this person released something. And then I'll sit there and I'll be like, maybe I should go write. And then like, I'll go to my synthesizer and I'll just be like, like a little thing. And then I start worrying about other stuff and I'm like, But I'm trying to get in the habit of, setting at least like 30 minutes where I'm like, focus. But I do it like very like bits and pieces. Like.
Yeah, for me, and now that I have with the kids, it's a little harder. But it used to be that because, and I'm getting older too. Like when my wife went to bed, like at midnight, I'll go into the back room studio and stay there until like 3 or 4 a.m. just editing music, editing and recording. That's how I did my CD basically. Like I was working. I don't need a lot of sleep. Luckily, now that I'm older, I feel like I'm tired. But like 3 years ago, 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep, I'm good. Boom, and it's not like I'm groggy, I'm not upset, nothing. I just didn't need it. Now I need a little more. Pero yeah, when the world was sleeping, I was like writing, recording, and a lot of my collaborations were through email, sometimes international from other parts of the world. So as long as I had something coming, and I talked on the prior episode about this, about collaborating. Sometimes collaborating pushes you to finish stuff because it's not all on you. When I'm all on me, me pongo como flojo, I'm a lazy, I'll do it later. But if I know that you're doing your part and I don't do my part, I feel bad. So that pushes me, like collaborating pushes me to finish process, to finish stuff. So, because when it was only me, I'll be like, I can do it later, and you procrastinate too.
You reminded me. I'm like, so many collaborations que I need to be working on, but I just now that I think about it, like I haven't even like touched those ideas, like song ideas.
Yeah.
You know.
The way I work and it works for me is I explain it if I go fishing, I throw 10 lines of fishing and then I get 2 bites maybe, but my wife always tells me like, you're too busy, man, but I'm always like messaging people here and asking, would you like to collaborate? I just started talking to a guy in Japan. He plays the didgeridoo and I was like, I love the didgeridoo, would you like to like put one of those in my songs? Like I'm always like reaching out to people. And then the projects that I complete are the people who answer. If they answer, then I'm like, okay, I don't want to be the lazy on this group, so I do my part, and that pushes me. If they answer, so I use collaboration as a push to finish stuff, and it works for me. So maybe you need to collaborate with me, and we'll push each other, and then we get a song out.
3 years later, hey, have you recorded your part? Oh, yeah, I don't know.
But that's awesome, man. But how many albums do you have out?
I have 2.
2?
2.
How many songs?
Well, actually, I would say maybe I have 1 because the first one was an EP, but that's still considered an album, right?
It is, of course.
So I have an EP album, the ukulele one from before, and then I have the one I released in May of this year. We're in 2020, right? Yeah.
2021 we are. Did you release 2020?
What year are we in?
We're in 2021.
Damn it.
Friend. So you released one last year or this year?
This year.
Okay,
2021.
2021. Okay. Yeah.
Time's going too fast for me. I'm like, slow down. I want to enjoy it. I feel like that, I feel like it's just going super fast.
Well, and then you're gonna be a dad, bro, and that's a blinking. I don't wanna scare you. You're gonna
enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. You gotta enjoy it.
I feel like it was just like, I don't even feel like it was that long ago when my wife was like, hey, look, we did it.
That is awesome. Okay, that's loud. All right, I think we have reached. Do you have anything else you would like to share? I know you're saying you're gonna dedicate a little more time to your family, so
but
don't go to sleep all the way. Still be on.
I am.
Be on the Insta, and
No, yeah.
I know time is kind of crazy.
Like I'm taking a break from the show part.
Okay,
the
cool.
shows.
Okay.
Because the majority of the shows that I've ever done, like I would say, like maybe like 80% of the time that I perform, like somehow I had to it was a big part of me, like, kind of like coordinating it, like reaching the place where we're gonna play, and then talking to whoever's gonna bring like the PA system. Cause I don't have my own PA system.
So you're like a producer and also a performer in that way. Like you're producing these events, so you're taking a lot of your time, like making it happen too.
Yeah. So then like that takes a lot of my time. So like whenever I do perform again, like I'm gonna try to like get gigs where I just have to show up and play.
Yeah, those are good. Okay, Benjamín, muchas gracias por haber venido. Una vez más, esto es Darte Arte Podcast.
Darte Arte Podcast.
We give you art. All the arts. Esta vez fue Benjamin Mancillas. Vamos a poner todas sus redes sociales aquí abajo. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos en el próximo episodio de Darte Arte Podcast. Bye.
Tengo arte para darte de tus penas, liberarte, tu mente contaminarte, con palabras elevarte, impregnarte, con dulzuras fascinarte, pues hoy quiero que me escuches con sonidos inyectarte.